Dudes, what's happening? It's Trent, and we're back with the Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation 1, Part 3. Last time we ran into Kenneth Baker and the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson. Both died from a heart attack, which is weird, right? Right? And we made contact with Meryl, the Colonel's niece. She also hooked us up with a little bit more info about Hal Emmerich, the chief engineer for the Metal Gear project. So let's go find this dude. Let's cruise. So we're heading on over to the nuclear warhead storage building now. What's up? What's this?
Snake, be careful. There are claymore mines around there. Use a mine detector.
Who are you?
Just call me Deep Throat.
Deep Throat? The informant from the Watergate scandal?
Never mind about that.
You're not using burst transmission. Are you nearby?
Listen, there's a tank in front of your position waiting to ambush you.
Who are you anyway?
One of your fans.
Nice. Okay, so we happen to have ourselves a mine detector, and that'll show us all the claymores on the map. It's a good thing I didn't just come running in all willy-nilly. If you crawl around, you can just pick those up, which is very realistic, right? Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and just pick up all these mines while we're here. The other thing you can do, by the way, is if you have the thermal gogs, they'll show up on there too. You can see claymores with thermals. We don't need those right now. We're going to switch to the rations. Yeah, great. I did not pick up any extra rations before the big tank fight. I don't know how well I'm going to do. It's been a little while. This is also my least favorite battle game.
Snakes don't belong in Alaska. I will not let you pass.
I love that line. Snakes do not belong in Alaska.
Send him a message. That's right. You belong on the ground. You should crawl on the ground like the snake you are. Come, let's fight.
Let's fight. I think it takes a tank shot at you pretty quickly, so we gotta move. We want to just kind of keep going horizontal, zigzagging. Still got us. Man, I wonder if it's even possible to dodge that first shot. It's gotta pop out to taunt us. Shit. Pop a chaff. Keep zigging and zagging. We're out of rations already. First things first, let's grab the extra ration. We're gonna need that. Next thing, in fact, let's just keep it equipped. Pop another chaff. Get our grenades ready, because we're gonna basically run in. And get run over. That's not what you want to do. You want to basically keep alternating. The chaff actually doesn't do much, but it does disrupt some of the tank fire. That one's got him, I think. I think I got him with that one. Good time to lay down some claymores. Nope, maybe not. Oh, jeez. I jumped the gun. Too excited there. We might be in trouble. We may very well be in trouble. Now let's lay down some claymores. And remember where we place them too.
Yeah, you like this.
And switch back to the chaff. I'm gonna need more grenades. No, we got plenty. So if you do throw down the claymores, they will screw up their tank treads, which does slow them down. And it's pretty handy if he's stuck in one spot. Okay, we're doing better. We're doing much better. Wow, that's so close. All right, we got him. That's it. Yeah. I don't know why that would just fling the guy 30 feet. Really powerful grenade, I guess. So back then, a lot of the models, the arms didn't even attach to the chest piece, the chest part of the model.
I hope you are happy. He got the card.
We'll play with him a little longer.
You would be wise not to underestimate him.
What did you think of him?
He is just as you said. In battle, he is as if possessed by a demon. Much like you, I would expect no less.
See? I told you so. But I will kill him.
So, General Ivan, I hear he took your hand as well as your dignity.
Watch your tongue, shaman.
In the language of the Sioux people, Sioux means snake. It is known as an animal to be feared.
Well, Snake is mine now. When I meet him next, I'll take special care of him.
Not yet. Don't kill him yet.
He and I will meet again in battle.
Same prediction as always.
Yes, the raven on my head. It thirsts for his blood.
Such a cool character. All right, so now we have the number 3 pan card. Not too bad. I think I could have done better in that battle. Oh, and we've also, now we can carry 3 rations. You want to run up here first and pick that one up. And now we're not going to be able to use any weapons in this room coming up, so we have to rely on our stealthiness. Sneaky. Love the textures and the lighting in this room. One of the other things I've been doing on my channel is I did a alpha channel, kind of or an alpha texture tutorial, where I showed you guys how to paint a texture that would fit into the Metal Gear Solid PlayStation 1 era, and how to drop that into Unity, and then I ran around it in a first-person view. It's pretty cool. I might do more of that. I don't know. It's been kind of fun. I'm really into this game right now, so I might actually try to make some of these assets. What's interesting is, like, I think from an art standpoint, I could build anything that you see in this game, which is pretty cool. I don't know that I could write anything as cool, though. The programming's also not my forte. So back then you couldn't mark enemies. You had to, like, look around and remember, and I remember that this guy has a route right here. He's going to walk right by us. Now, we won't be able to use a gun, and we need to get into the back of that truck. I think there's something that I want up there. There's a guy up on the balcony who's going to see me, and there's that security camera I have to be careful of.
Be careful. You absolutely must not use weapons in that area.
I've already programmed the nanomachine so that he won't be able to, Colonel.
What? What are you talking about?
Have you forgotten? That's where they keep the nuclear warheads. Can't you see them?
Yeah, there's lots of boxes piled up here, but are they all warheads?
Yes, they're all dismantled warheads.
They just leave them here? It's like President Baker said, totally careless.
They're working on a limited budget. They try to put on a pretty face for the media, but this is the grim reality of it. Nastasha knows lots more about it than I do.
All of the warheads in those boxes have had their detonation mechanisms removed, so there's no fear of them exploding. But if the warheads are broken, they might leak plutonium, and that would be a serious problem.
Snake, never use your weapon on that floor.
Doesn't sound like a very fun place to work, to mention the commute. Oh geez, be careful here. Like everybody's swarming around this spot right now. By the way, I am going to do a full playthrough, and if I get spotted or I die or something, we're just going to keep going. This is sneaky here. Check this out. Put a camera right up in that corner. No. Oh my god. Oh, of course. Gas. Let's see. I don't think I can survive this. I think I'm gonna die. Usually the best way to do it. Nice. Oh good. Oh good. Oh. If you have a gas mask, I think you can survive it. For future reference. I was going to grab that crate and see what's in it. This room changes the game up. But what's good about that from a game design standpoint is that we've gotten used to the gameplay in a certain way. And this is sort of the perfect example of good tempo, I think, in game design, where you've gotten used to, okay, so status quo pretty much, you go into a room, you got new gear, and it's like, oh cool, I'm getting better gear, I'm getting more powerful, I'm getting better. And I'm getting cooler toys to play around with, right? And this game really is all about the toys. By the way, later I want to show you some different ways you can use C4 and some of the other items to mess with the AI. But once you get used to all these toys, it's like, hey, by the way, you can't use those in this room. And if you get spotted, you don't even have the equipment yet to survive if you get spotted. So they really kind of hamstring you, and it betrays what you think that you've been learning how to do. Kojima actually recently said he just loves messing with his audience. He likes to betray their expectations. This guy's gonna see me if I'm not careful. So we got to get to that elevator, and it's going to take a minute to come down. Thought he was going to come further. There's a guy at the top of the stairs there. And I'm not going to take him out either. I'm going to try to just slip by him. Hurry up, elevator. Hurry up. Let's go, let's go. Let's just pick any floor you want. Is this where we want to be? Let's find out. I love that there's a restroom. You can't go into the ladies' room. I love that there's a restroom. It creates such a sense of believability to the universe. Man, what a way to go. While taking a leak. It makes the world more real. Oh, you know what's neat? These look like Japanese-style toilets. It's so interesting. In Alaska. A day in Alaska. Can we go in here yet? We can. What do we got? One soldier is going to see me if I don't move. Don't think we can go in many rooms. He's totally going to see me. I don't know why he wouldn't be able to. in a rational, realistic, believable world, we would. So we got that Nikita missile. That's going to come in handy. Let's get back on the elevator and head down to B2. By the way, we haven't checked in with Nastasha or Master Miller in a while. Let's check our codec. We've got a little bit of a... got a minute here. I don't really ever look around this room very much. It's pretty nice, though. There's a electrified floor, and the room is filled with gas. Pretty high security. They are keeping their engineers under lockdown, which I understand. If you know any really good engineers, sometimes you almost have to put them in like a locked facility with an electrified floor, because otherwise they take other opportunities. They leave your project. I totally get it. Very subtle, Kojima.
Snake, watch out. That place is filled with gas. Also, the floor is electrified. First, destroy the high voltage switch. It's the switchboard on the northwest wall.
But how? I can't reach it.
Use a remote-controlled missile.
Who are you?
Just call me Deep Throat.
Yeah, you covered that.
Deep Throat. The informant from the Watergate scandal?
Never mind about that.
You're not using burst transmission. Are you nearby? Who are you, anyway?
One of your fans.
All right. Let's find out. We haven't talked to any of the other people in a while. Let's talk to... Well, can we call Deep Throat? No response. What does Meryl have to say?
Deep Throat? No, I don't know anyone who calls himself that.
I see.
I wonder why he's trying to help you.
I have no idea.
A trap?
Could be, but for the time being, I'll have to trust him.
What else you got to say?
Dr. Emmerich is probably being held in his lab in the northeast part of that floor. They flooded the area with gas to prevent him from escaping. But there should be a gas mask on that floor too. If you use it, you'll be able to make it through easily.
Yeah, see, they're keeping their engineers on lockdown. Oh, geez. Man. It's not exactly legal, but...
Dr. Emmerich is probably being held in his lab in the northeast part of that floor. They flooded the area with gas.
What's Master Miller got to say?
Master, does the name Deep Throat mean anything to you?
Deep Throat? What? You mean the guy from Watergate?
No, but he uses the same name. Whoever he is, he's not part of our operation, but he's been giving me advice by codec.
What?
On top of that, he wasn't using burst transmission. It seems he was transmitting from somewhere on this base.
Somewhere on the base?
Yes.
I have no idea who that could be.
I see.
What else you got to say?
People who have been through war and survived develop a kind of sixth sense to warn them of danger. Trust your instincts as a soldier, as a gamer.
People who've played games can anticipate trouble.
The weather in Alaska is very hard to predict. It can change on a dime. A lot of people say it's the worst weather in the world. In war, a split second can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Don't ever hesitate. The slower you react, the greater the chance that you'll be beaten.
That makes sense.
That inner voice that warns you when danger is nearby. You can't learn that in training. You've got to have survived a few firefights, seen a few friends blown away, before you learn that trick.
Man, Master Miller's dark.
When you're trying to hide, avoid places that look like the enemy might search. Think about how your enemy is going to move, and then sneak in there. It doesn't matter how smart you are, just use your head out there. Snake, divide and conquer. Try to take your enemies on one at a time. In war, a split second.
They say that there are 500,000 nuclear engineers in the world. But after the end of the Cold War, the demand for nuclear engineers dropped precipitously. In the Eastern Bloc countries in particular, there is a tremendous brain drain. They cannot keep their scientists in their country. And each year, more and more nuclear engineers go to work for the highest bidder. Just like Baker said, each year, there are more and more cases of muff coming from the nuclear material storage facilities. That stands for material unaccounted for.
I always think of
It
something
means that
else.
someone is stealing nuclear materials and probably selling them on the black market.
Material unaccounted for.
After the fall of the Soviet Union, the nuclear management program fell to pieces. In the late 1990s, there were rumors that nearly 100 suitcase-sized nuclear bombs mysteriously disappeared from the Soviet arsenal. We still do not know whether it is true or not, but it is possible that they fell into the hands of terrorists.
That's freaking scary.
It looks like the DARPA chief and the arms tech president both agree on the concept of maintaining a dominant nuclear arsenal. They are big on the nuclear deterrent theory. The idea behind a nuclear standoff is that both countries would be too afraid to use a nuclear weapon for fear of a nuclear reprisal. In other words, the only thing preventing a country from totally devastating another country with nuclear weapons is the fear of a nuclear counterstrike. Those two probably feel that Metal Gear will further promote that security.
Yeah, nuclear deterrence is nice when you're the guy carrying the biggest stash of nukes.
The right-wingers believe that as long as any country has nuclear weapons, they must have them as well. That is why they will never be in favor of the total elimination of nuclear weapons. And with each new country that acquires nuclear capabilities, the need for maintaining the counterstrike threat increases. As long as the nuclear deterrent policy continues, we will never be rid of nuclear weapons.
We're screwed.
The theory of nuclear deterrence was born during the Cold War, at a time of great suspicion between the US and the USSR. The great gulf between the ideologies of East and West caused a dramatic escalation in the arms race. And this escalation of the arms race in turn fueled mutual distrust and fear between the world's two great superpowers. The last half of the 20th century was shaped by the policy of nuclear deterrence. But the world has changed. The Cold War has ended, and we are now living in a world where small regional conflicts are breaking out all over. Things are not so simple anymore, and the policy of nuclear deterrence is obsolete. Most of these regional conflicts are the result of age-old enmities between different ethnic groups and religions. In those cases, the hatred often runs so deep that rationality is thrown out the window. For people such as them, the fear of a counterstrike often means little, and that is why the nuclear deterrence policy has lost much of its efficacy. A nuclear standoff is not a sufficient deterrent in the current world climate.
It's interesting how this game really kind of ties in a lot of real-world tensions, I think, into a fictitious universe. They also tie in a lot of history, like real-world history, into it as well.
Over 200 tons of plutonium and over 1,000 tons of high-grade uranium have been removed from nuclear weapons so far. And on top of that, nuclear reactors all over the world continue to produce and leak spent nuclear fuel. According to one estimate, as of the year 2005, America alone was storing over 50,000 tons of nuclear material. There is no room left in our nuclear material storage sites. That is why we need nuclear weapon disposal facilities.
So what's really cool about the codex system is it gives them a chance to elaborate on the world without disrupting the gameplay. You know, this is all entirely optional. It's hours of content.
The theory of nuclear deterrence.
Okay, she's just going to repeat herself. All right, who else we got to talk to? Let's skip this. And let's talk to Campbell. What do you got, Campbell?
Colonel, I got a codec call from someone outside this operation.
I know. We were monitoring the call. Mei Ling knows everything about the communication system, so let me have her explain it to you.
Well, if somebody knows your frequency, they can call you. But the question is, how did he learn it? It's top secret information.
So you mean someone leaked the information?
That's the only explanation I can think of.
Mei Ling, do you know where that transmission originated from?
I'm sorry. The radio waves were too weak to locate their source, but I'm sure he's near you, somewhere on the base.
For the time being, let's trust what Deep Throat told us. Use a remote-controlled missile to destroy the switchboard in the northwest section of the Warhead Storage Building's second-floor basement. Make sure your remote-controlled missile doesn't get shot down by those gun cameras.
Well, I'm already there, and I happen to have just picked one up. So, let's do it. It's the Nikita missile. Classic. All right, let's do it. You can switch to first-person view. Makes it a little easier. These are tough, though, to navigate past them. I'm not sure if I remember right. You might have to actually take out those gun cameras. If you don't turn, it goes into like turbo mode. And then you want to blow up that thing that was on the other side of that window. Shuts off the electric floor, but not the gas. That at least gives us a fighting chance. We're almost out of oxygen, so let's go take a breather. Get some air. Nice. So you see that's where that thing was that we just blew up. That texture. Danger, high voltage. You can almost kind of read that. Yeah. I would love to see another remake of this game, even though Kojima said he didn't want to have anything to do with it. He doesn't want to go back and revisit. Oh, there's Emmerich. Look at that. Kojima said he didn't want to have anything to do with it. It would have to be somebody else's like vision of it. I think he was sort of referring to like how Dawn of the Dead was like a different director's sort of remake of the original. And I think that's a good idea. I don't know who it would be. There are only like a handful of directors out there that I think could handle it and handle it well. So we don't have to worry about our electric floors anymore. We just want to... Oh, did that open? It did. Some of these have a camera in them. I still need to be really careful. Are we really full up on rations? Let's just go ahead and use that so we can make room to pick up another. I don't like that you have to switch to the key card every time. Yeah, see, this one has a camera in it. Great. Oh, I really need to pop a chaff grenade. Alright, that'll jam that. Grab the gas mask. Now we're in business. Put that on, but we're still gonna go run out real quick and catch our breath. Back to the key card. There we go. So what's cool is you put on the gas mask and you actually put it on in the graphic. Your character actually wears it, which is pretty cool. One thing I didn't notice until this playthrough and really analyzing all the graphics is that Snake is wearing a headband, but it doesn't have a tie in the back, probably because they couldn't have done physics, cloth physics with it. All right, so we're going to switch to level 3 keycard. I know that we need to run down into the right, but I think there are some items that we want to get on the left side if we can avoid the gun cameras. We've got a socom. I don't think we can... Let's use the Nikita to blow up some of these if we can. See if we can. Okay, that worked. So let's get rid of some of these. Another more. Yeah, there's one right here. So many of them. I think they reused a lot of the textures in here too. Isn't there one more in the corner? No, we already got them all. Look at that. Okay. Key card. Locked. Uh-huh. C4, grenade. Nikita missiles. Running out of air, bro. Okay. Gas mask back on. It's a cool room, but you don't get to spend much time at the top. Another. Got him. Another one of those. Gun turrets. Alright. This is a pretty cool scene. Man, just by using the sounds, they were able to foreshadow something coming up, give you a sense of danger, imminent danger.
It looks like they were cut by some type of blade.
The music just got all creepy too. So you're meant to think that it's maybe some kind of ghost or something. Ah, there you go. It's a ghost. So the way they would have had the blood pouring out from him was an animated texture. They only used once. Maybe for the catch-up too. So cool. And you gotta go in there. This dude just messed everyone up. Look at this. Oh man. I guess he really needs an engineer too for his video game project. Or bipedal tank. It's like a predator. Stealth camo.
Stealth camouflage? Who are you?
Where is my friend?
What are you talking about? Oh, what next?
Snake.
You're that ninja.
I've been waiting for you, Snake.
Who are you?
Neither enemy nor friend. I am back from a world where such words are meaningless. I've removed all obstacles. Now you and I will battle to the death.
What do you want?
I've waited a long time for this day. Now I want to enjoy the moment.
What's with these guys? It's like one of my Japanese animes.
I've come from another world to do battle with you.
What is it, revenge?
It is nothing so trivial as revenge. A fight to the death with you. Only in that can my soul find respite. I will kill you, or you will kill me. It makes no difference.
That's
Fine. He can watch from inside there.
I need that man. Keep your hands off him.
Now, make me feel it. Make me feel alive again.
So you can't fight him with a gun. Don't think. Let's see what does the Colonel have to say about him.
If you have a question about members of Foxhound, you should ask Naomi.
I'm sorry, but there's no one in Foxhound like that. There are currently only 6 members of Foxhound. Psycho Mantis, Sniper Wolf, Vulcan Raven, Decoy Octopus, Revolver Ocelot, and finally Liquid Snake. The Genome soldiers under his command are next-generation special forces. Foxhound is intended to be a small number of highly elite, hand-picked soldiers.
You're talking about the current Foxhound, right?
Yes.
Snake, who or what is that thing? Is he an enemy or not?
That's what I'd like to know. Naomi, you really don't have any idea?
Maybe I should ask you the same thing.
What?
Nothing. Forget about it.
What? What are you getting at?
Look at him move. He must have some kind of powered exoskeleton.
Powered exoskeleton? You mean like prosthetic arms and legs?
No, prosthetics are intended to replace original body parts. That ninja's exoskeleton makes him far stronger than any normal human. He is a true cyborg, a cybernetic organism.
So he's half machine, huh?
I heard rumors about the experiments, but I had no idea that such a creature really existed.
Ninja? I've never heard of any member of Foxhound like that. But you're gonna have to do something about him if you want to save Dr. Emmerich.
He's just playing with you. Why don't you try throwing away your weapons?
What? Why would I do that?
Good. Now we can fight as warriors. Hand to hand. It is the basis of all combat. Only a fool trusts his life to a weapon.
This room is great. We're gonna check it out a little bit after if we survive this fight. There's some really good texture work in here. Oh geez. You know what, let's switch to the ration just in case. Oh come on, he happened to be going exactly where I was going. This is one of the better fights in the game actually. You just have to time when you run up on him. The hardest part is tracking where he is when he's not on screen in your view. Again, biggest problem with this game is that sometimes the camera makes it really hard to strategize. Very unusual though. No other game at the time would say, hey, you know what? Don't use your gun here. I think that this is sort of why Hideo Kojima became so well known, was his really out of the box kind of thinking. And I was doing some research about, you know, what it takes. You know, somebody had asked him, the director of the Metal Gear Solid film, E3 this year asked him, you know, how do you handle criticism and when people don't understand what it is that you're trying to do because it's so different, and how do you handle that? And
That's good, Snake. Hurry up and catch me.
you want to use your thermal gods here. And he was saying every time he does a game, he has an idea of the systems that he has in mind, and he tries to explain it to his team. Nobody understands what the heck he's talking about most of the time. But ultimately, they get it as they're in development. They start to see it come together, and it starts to make sense.
I'm here, Snake.
Jordan Vogt Roberts, who had asked him the question, suggested that if people understood your vision immediately, they wouldn't need you at all. They hire you because you're going to have out-of-the-box thinking, different ways of thinking. I think that comes from being influenced and inspired mostly by other forms of media. if you only play games, it's really hard to think outside of the realm of games. You mostly will think creatively within those parameters based on things that you've seen. Kojima most of the time was influenced heavily by films. He was trying to do things that he had seen in films and from books. So I think that most of the really unique approaches that this game takes to games and gameplay derive from the influences from the movies that he had watched and the books that he had been reading.
I've been waiting for this pain.
Let's turn off the thermal gogs because that red just really burns into my eyes. So this part, he does a little thing where he punches, and that's his weak spot. I'm gonna run up on him after he throws his first punch. It's really intimidating, actually. If you just look at him in first-person view. It takes a lot of patience, this fight.
I remember that punch.
Come on, do it.
Do you remember, Snake? The feel of battle. The clashing of bone and sinew.
We're gonna leave the ration on just in case. This is a long fight. We don't want to have to redo it.
That's good, Snake.
Ooh, the double disappear.
Hurt me more.
Gotta watch out for that. Now this is tricky because you do actually just want to shoot him, I think, at that point. You don't want to get close. You get too close to him when he's doing that, you're done. Dunzo.
I felt that, Snake. Do you remember me now?
Can't be. You were killed in Zanzibar. What? Not again. What's happening?
Is it over?
Gray Fox. Colonel, that ninja is Gray Fox. No doubt about it.
Ridiculous. You of all people should know he died in Zanzibar.
No. He should have died, but he didn't.
What?
It happened before I joined Foxhound's medical staff. They were using a soldier for their gene therapy experiments.
I never heard that.
It happened right after you retired. My predecessor, Dr. Clark, was in charge.
Dr. Clark.
Yes, he started the gene therapy project.
And where is he now?
He was killed in an explosion in his lab 2 years ago.
So what about this soldier?
Apparently, for their test subject, they decided to use the body of a soldier who was recovered after the fall of Zanzibar.
And that was Gray Fox.
But he was already dead.
Yes, but they revived him. They fitted him with a prototype exoskeleton and kept him drugged for 4 years while they experimented on him like a plaything. Today's genome soldiers were born from those experiments.
That's the sickest thing I ever heard.
They used him to test all sorts of gene therapy techniques.
Naomi, why didn't you tell us about this sooner?
Because it's confidential information.
Is that the only reason?
Naomi, what happened to Gray Fox after that?
The record says he died in the explosion.
I see. But even if that ninja is Gray Fox, the question is, why?
From what I could tell, he didn't know who he was.
Are you saying that he's just a mindless robot?
I'm not sure, but he seems intent on fighting me to the death. We'll meet again. I know it.
So you'll fight again? Until you kill him?
I'd rather not. But maybe that's what he wants. How long are you gonna stay in there?
Huh? Are you one of them?
No, I'm not. I always work alone.
Alone? Are you an otaku too?
Come on, get out. We can't stay here forever.
Your uniform is different than theirs.
You're the Metal Gear Chief Engineer, Hal Emmerich, right?
You know me?
I heard about you from Meryl.
Oh, so you're here to rescue me?
Sorry, but no. There's something that I've got to do first.
Oh, well, at least you're not one of them.
Huh. Are you hurt?
I'm okay. I just twisted my ankle a little bit trying to get away.
Well, if that's all, it's nothing to worry about. I want to ask you something. I need information about Metal Gear.
Huh? Metal Gear?
Yeah. What's Metal Gear really designed for?
It's a mobile TMD. It's designed to shoot down nuclear missiles. Only for defensive purposes, of course.
Fire! I already know that Metal Gear is nothing but a nuclear-equipped walking deathmobile.
Nuclear? What are you talking about?
The terrorists are planning to use Metal Gear to launch a nuclear missile. You telling me you didn't know?
They're gonna put a dismantled warhead into Metal Gear's TMD missile module?
Wrong. From the beginning, the purpose of this exercise was to test Metal Gear's nuclear launch capability using a dummy nuclear warhead. The terrorists are just continuing the work you started.
No, you're wrong.
I heard it directly from your boss, Baker.
No. A nuclear missile on Rex?
So you really didn't know?
No. All the armament was built by a separate department, and the President personally supervised the final assembly of the main unit.
President Baker?
Yeah. I was never told exactly what they armed Rex with. I only know it's equipped with a Vulcan cannon, a laser, and a railgun.
A railgun, you said?
Yeah. It uses magnets to fire bullets at extremely high velocities. The technology was originally developed for the SDI system and later scrapped. We were successful in miniaturizing it, in a joint venture between Armstech and Rivermore National Labs. The railgun is on Rex's right arm.
Metal Gear's main function is to launch nuclear missiles. You sure you're not forgetting something?
It's true that Metal Gear has a missile module on his back that can carry up to 8 missiles, but are you saying it was originally meant to carry nuclear missiles?
Yeah, but that's not all I think. If Metal Gear fired only standard nuclear missiles, then they should already have all the practical data they need.
No. Could it be? Metal Gear's co-developer, Rivermore National Labs, was working on a new type of nuclear weapon. They were using Nova and NIF laser nuclear fusion testing equipment and supercomputers.
So they developed a new type of nuclear weapon in a VR testing lab, huh?
Yes, but you can't use virtual data on a battlefield. They would need actual launch data. These are some of the supercomputers. If you link these, you can test everything in a virtual environment. But it's all just theoretical.
So this exercise was designed to test the real thing.
What did our president do? If the terrorists launched that thing... Damn. Damn. I'm such a fool. It's all my fault. The truth is, my grandfather was part of the Manhattan Project. He suffered with the guilt for the rest of his life. And my father, he was born on August 6th, 1945.
The day of the Hiroshima bomb. God's got a sense of humor, all right.
3 generations of Emmerich men. We must have the curse of nuclear weapons written into our DNA. I used to think that I could use science to help mankind, but the one that wound up getting used was me. Using science to help mankind, it's just in the movies.
That's enough crying. Pull yourself together. Where is Metal Gear? Where on this base are they keeping it?
Rex is in the underground maintenance base.
Where's that?
North of the communications tower, but it's a long way there.
The emergency override system for the detonation code is there too?
Yeah, in the maintenance base control room. You'd better hurry. If they were planning a launch from the start, then their ballistic program is probably finished. And since they haven't called for me in a few hours, they must not need me. In other words, they must be ready to launch.
Meryl's got the detonation code override keys. We'll link up with her.
If we can't override the launch, we'll have to destroy Rex. I'll show you the way.
On that leg of yours, you'll just slow me down.
You'll need me if you're gonna destroy Rex.
I don't need you. I just need your brain.
I created Rex. It's my right, my duty to destroy him.
If you get a chance, try to escape. When the coast is clear, I'll contact you by codec.
How am I supposed to escape from an island?
Okay.
So what then?
I want you to hide somewhere and keep me informed. You know this place well, don't you?
Of course I do. And don't worry, I've got this.
I could use one of those.
It's the same stealth technology as the Ninja. Foxhound was gonna use them, but with this I'll be fine. Bad leg and all.
Good. But I want Meryl to watch after you too. Meryl, the engineer's okay.
That's a relief.
I want you to look after him. Where are you now?
Very close.
There she is! Over there!
Oh no! Damn, they've spotted me.
Meryl, what happened? Something's wrong.
Did you hear something? Wasn't that some kind of music?
What did she look like?
She was wearing the same green uniform as the terrorists.
A disguise?
She had such a cute way of walking. She kind of wiggles her behind.
You were really looking.
Well, she's got a very cute behind.
Way of walking, huh?
If she's disguised as the enemy, you'll have to contact her when she's alone, huh? There's only one place where we can be sure she's by herself.
Where's that?
Don't be so dense. Here, use this security card. It's security level 4.
Uh-oh.
You're not in pain, are you?
Huh?
You feel okay? Nothing bothering you?
What's wrong? Getting all friendly all of a sudden.
No, nothing. I'm glad you're okay.
You're strange.
I'm a little nervous. Everyone else I've saved suddenly dies.
You're bad luck.
Forget it, Doctor.
Call me Otacon.
Otacon?
It stands for Otaku Convention. An otaku's a guy like me who likes Japanimation. Japan was the first country to successfully make bipedal robots. They're still the best in the field of robotics.
And Japanese cartoons played some part in that?
They did. I didn't get into science to make nuclear weapons, you know.
That's what all scientists say.
I became a scientist because I wanted to make robots like the ones in the Japanese animes. Really, it's true.
Just sounds like a childish excuse to me.
You're right. We have to take responsibility. Science has always thrived on war. Greatest weapons of mass destruction were created by scientists who wanted to be famous. But that's all over now. I won't take part in murder anymore.
Whatever. All I want from you is information.
Sure. I know everything about this whole base. Ask me anything about Rex or about this place. Also, with this stealth camouflage, I can sneak in and out of the armory and mess hall. If you need ammo or rations, just tell me and I'll bring them to you. I'm on frequency 141.12. See you later.
All right, so we've rescued Otacon and fought the ninja, found out that he's Gray Fox, this dude also known as Frank Yeager, who we fought in a previous game, Metal Gear 2 on the MSX, which was never released in the US until... You can play it, actually. It's a 2D game, though. It's on the Snake Eater Subsistence disc, so you can play through a updated English version. I haven't actually completed that one yet. With as big of a Metal Gear fan as I am, it's surprising. Maybe I'll do that on my channel. That'd be kind of neat. So we've got here a couple of... Is that a Police Knots poster over there? Yeah, Police Knots, which was a game that Kojima directed previously before Metal Gear Solid. I think right before this one. Or was it Snatcher? In the Twin Snakes version, there's a GameCube up on the shelf over there. Looks like some of this computer hardware got smashed up a little bit. They did actually build a keyboard here. That is really bizarre that in that other scene, there's no keyboard, but here there is. Now, this was supposed to have taken place in early 2000s. So I guess it's fairly accurate. The screens were still kind of large like that. That almost kind of looks like a PlayStation with a controller, huh? Super low poly. So that is the same texture that we saw when we first entered into the tank hangar, and there were all the computer desks, and you look under the computer desks, and it creates the illusion of depth. Not really, but when you don't have that much memory, you can't use that many polygons, so they had to paint a lot of that depth to try to create the illusion of depth. That's basically just a big block with a big flat texture painted on the side. It'd be interesting to see sort of a combination of those styles. It'd be nice to see somebody try to do something like that. Maybe I'll do that with some of my 3D experiments. The chair, pretty basic. Is it using an alpha channel on the legs? It is. Look at that. Bam, called it. Good texture work. Oh, you can see a seam. Well, this was the locker that Otacon was in, so it needed to be able to open and close. And I guess people didn't care too much about those sorts of details back then. It was, I mean, this was still really advanced for its time. But it's basically where the polygons don't line up where the door hinges. Anyway, that was an awesome fight. Gray Fox. Pretty cool. The art director and character designer, Yoji Shinkawa, said that the Gray Fox character, the cyborg ninja, was a thing that he just doodled all the time, I think right after high school and in college. It was just, like, he called it a graffiti, just something that you doodle. Some people kind of gravitate towards drawing the same face or frog or a tree or something like that. His was a cyborg ninja. And that became the Gray Fox cyborg ninja when they made Metal Gear Solid. I think there's a lot more we can dig into with some of the things that Campbell says, and Naomi goes into it a little bit more, I think. We're going to find out a little bit more about that in the next video. I think this is a good point to kind of cut this one off, and we'll pick up from here in the next video. All right, dudes, I'll catch you in the next one.